More Fusion 360. So I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to be swapping screens throughout, and hopefully it'll all work and come together to explain some simple little things. So what I'm going to look at first is I'm going to go through sweep, lofting and embossing with a couple of little things, particularly in the loft one, that is not so obvious when you start to use it. These are areas, I think, and techniques that you could use quite a bit. I'm just showing you the technique of using the tool. I'm not going to be worrying about dimensions or even the shapes that we generate. It's more to do with what the tool is, okay? So we'll look at the sweep command first, and we'll go into Fusion, and we're going to look at this, you know, the sort of thing you'd have on a deck of a ship, I suppose, or whatever. Or it's the sort of thing you could use if you're creating pipe work on something. So the idea is that we're going to create two circles, one at the bottom, one at the top, and we're going to join them together on a sweep command. Now what we're going to do is put the first circle on this base plane, and then the second circle has to go at right angles to it. So let's just move back into Fusion. And the first thing we'll do is put our base circle in place, okay? As I say, I'm not worried about dimensions. Now the thing is, of course, we want this curving up that way or whatever way. So the other circle, we want at right angles to this one, but we can't use this sketch plane. Because if we use that sketch plane, and we draw a circle somewhere on it, let's say up there, you can see the two circles. You know, you can't, there's no way you can then create, let's get back on that shape with the two circles in that position. We need that circle moved over. So let's go back to our basic circle, and what we need to do is create this other circle on a plane that comes this way. So we're going to construct a plane, offset plane, and it's offset on that one, and we'll just pull it over here. Now normally what you would need to do here is work out the distance between this center circle, which is this plane, that point there, and where you want the edge of the new plane to be. But as I say, I'm just guessing it at the moment. It's come out at 100. And then what we're going to do then is click return. So we've got that plane, click on sketch, click on that plane to sketch on that one, and then we can go and we can put our circle wherever we want it. As I said, I'm not interested in measurements. And there's our two circles. Now, the question is, how do we sweep from there to there? Well, what we've got to do is put a line in. So the line, the path that we want to follow has to go from there up. Let me get rid of that first circle a minute, because we don't really need it at this stage. I want to sweep on a path. So the only way this can sweep is up or down. So therefore the path has to be on this plane. Let me zoom in a bit. That one there. So what we're going to do is go down, click on that plane, and then we're going to draw our path. So we'll draw a path up. Hit the center point might be a good idea. And then we're going to put a curve in there maybe. Let me move my thing, otherwise I can't get the curves here. There. And then we'll add a bit more to it by adding another line down here. You can have whatever shape path you want. So there's our path. Finish our sketch. And then what we're going to do now is use the sweep tool, which is that one, sweep. And we click on, first of all, the profile, which is there. Then we select the path, which is there. And then we get an error message, and that's because we got a right angle here. It doesn't like right angles. So we'll go back and we'll take that one out. Sketches. Whoops, sketches. edit sketch, and take that one out, and I'll take that one out as well just for good measure, and hopefully that will now work. Sweep again, click on that one, select your path there, and we still got an error. Oh, an error's there. Hang on a minute. It's good to get errors because then you can see where you're going wrong. So what I'm going to do is put a circle in there for better join. And then I don't want the full circle. So what I'm going to do is cut a line across there. And I can use my scissors command to remove the bits of the circle I don't want. And hopefully this time it will work. If we're not, we're back to the drawing board again. Under the sweep, select it. Select the path. And there's the shape that we've got. Questions, anybody? No, all quiet on the front.
Well, I'm assuming that if instead of having the two sort of things meeting on a curve, you had them meeting at a right angle, you used to have a path of a right angle and probably a different command. Is that right?
Yes, because that's an intersection then.
Yeah, okay.
So you would treat that as two separate sweeps and intersect them.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry about the stupid question.
Yeah, no, that's fine, Hugh. So is everybody happy with that straightforward thing?
Yep.
Now the sweep can also...
You mentioned about the second plane, where there's
Yep.
you knew where two holes were or two at the start and end position.
Okay, let's go back and look at the planes. Let's look at the planes for the moment. Now, with this particular one, it's quite the shape, the profile is on this bottom plane there. Okay. Now, because the shape, whatever shape we've got, can only sort of go up or down in one sense to get going, then you need a path either on that one. And if you path on that one, it takes it up and around that way. If I wanted it on the other way, for example, I could draw a path on that one. Let's finish the sketch. And I'm going to draw on that one instead. And I'll just draw, I'll go down so we don't get confused with it. And and then we'll just... Now what we can do with that one, of course, and I haven't put the curve in for saving time really. We go on the sweep command, we highlight it, then we select our path, and down it goes. If we select that path as well, then it goes both ways. So you can see how you can create a fairly complex thing. Let me quickly show you another one over here. So if we go into a sketch mode and we go on there, and I'm going to put a square in there now, like so, okay? Now what I want to do, this is a building if you like, so what we can do now is to extrude that up. And then I want to put a sketch on this face, whoops, there. And I'm going to keep this quite simple and do it exaggerating so we can see now. Oh, don't forget to actually close it. So now we've got a profile there. What we can do now is highlight that profile, go into sweep mode, it's selected, and then select a path there. And it goes all the way round. Now that's very simply, if you can imagine, if I'll have copied that profile up this edge, shaped it a bit better, that's the quick way that I put lap wood in onto a building. Because you would just copy that up and then click on them and then use the sweep command to go all the way round. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
nod or fingers up or whatever. Okay, so that's the sweep command. It's very useful, as I say, either follow the one thing you have to make sure is your path is continuous. If I'd have drawn that original box there with 4 lines, then it may not have worked, because that was the problem with the other one. So when you sweep into a path, the path must be a continuous path, and it's easy to I may say the sort of situation you could have is this. Is that if we sort of, let's suppose I'm going to draw a line there, okay? And then I'm going to draw another line. Now I've exaggerated this, but I've not joined them. But you can see how you could easily draw a second line that really is not joined fully to the first one. And of course, it's not a continuous line, so the sweep is not going to work. Okay?
So the first time you showed it with the curve, you said it couldn't go round a right angle.
No,
but
no.
That building, you put it round a right angle.
Yeah, because I was sweeping around it. I wasn't. It was the way that the sweep was working on the right angle, not connected to the curve properly. Do you see what I mean, Roger, or not?
Not quite, no.
Okay, let's go back one and see if we can see what the error is with it a minute. If I go in there, hang on, I've got a, it's a perishing nuisance having this. I can't see the top of my screen here, because the merge thing is up there. Let's see where we're going. What? Go back on that one. Now, if we go onto that one, click on there, and sweep and path. It did it, that one. Okay, now what I'm saying is that what we'll do is we'll undo. Let's go and put our wrong one. So we're going to add to that line. I'm going to do a tangent off there first of all, then delete that. Finish the sketch. Sweep. Whoops, lost it. Now I did it that time because what I done, I put too tight an angle on here at the end, and it wanted to fold back on itself. Now when it wants to fold back on itself, it doesn't like intersecting itself. So if I was to put a line, let's see if I can show you what we mean. If I now add a line in there, I wouldn't expect this one now to work. You see, the sweep could not create a path, and that's because it's coming back and intercepting itself. Because if you can imagine, when we done the first sweep, that went up there like so, and this face then was on there. Do you follow me? So what we were trying to do was to take it back on itself that it doesn't like.
So if you made that sweep from the edge of the circle, not the center of the profile circle, would that work?
If you made it, or if you've done the profile from the edge of the circle?
Yeah.
Possibly, yes. Let's give it a try, shall we? Let's go back into that sketch then. Edit sketch. So we'll take that out. Let's take them all out. And what you're saying there, therefore, Roger, is if we take our line from the edge, which is there, up, and then we'll put a circle in there. And then we'll put a line there. And then we'll delete the bits we don't want, if we don't want that bit in the middle. And finish the sketch and see what we get now. So now if we do a sweep, highlight that and highlight the path. I haven't got a complete path there. So you can see the problem, which I just mentioned about the joining issue. Let's take that back out again, and instead we'll put an arc in there. Okay, make sure it's joined. Sweep onto there, onto our path. Whoops, missed it. And now you can see, but you end up with a shape which is better because, again, you're not, because as you said, Roger, before we were taking the center line. When the center line comes up here and it was trying to go back, so it would have gone, if that's the cut mark, it would have gone back and tried to go over itself, which it doesn't like doing. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Got that.
I should have, perhaps it's a good job you asked the question, because it does raise it does show the point that the path does not necessarily have to be at the center of your profile. The path can be anywhere.